Welcome. Thank you for joining us today on Consular Conversations Live. I have my colleagues Twanda and Marisa from Consular, and we will be talking about tips for a successful U.S. visit. Whether you're planning a trip or helping someone else travel to the U.S., knowing how to navigate the visa process is very important. And I know there can be a lot of questions. Today, we'll be sharing about those tips and talking about some of the things that you would need to know when you're applying for a visa. I know like one of the questions a lot of people have is, how will people know where to apply?
Yeah, so for those who want to apply for a visa, you need first to complete an application form, pay the application fee, and then schedule the visa interview. So the application form can be found and completed at the Consular Electronic Application Center, and the link would be ceac.state.gov. It'll be somewhere on the screen, you'll see it. Once you complete the form, then you need to schedule an interview and pay the fee, and this can be found at ais.usvisa-info.com. You need to go first to our website, that would be jm.usembassy.gov. And then you scroll down, you'll see US visas, click on that, then you'll see the link there. Make sure that you don't go into any other site except for our official site. And then you'll see the link there, and it'll bring you to the visa appointment system. And there'll be instructions there for you to pay the fee and schedule the interview.
And to add to what Marissa discussed about applying for a visa and the fees, we want to stress that our fees are listed on our official website. For B1, B2 visas, the fee is $185. For student visas, that will be $205. When you're applying for visas, you should never pay more than what is stated on our website. We won't ask you for more money, more fees than that. The fees cover the application, the interview, the whole process. So be wary of, first, make sure our sites are listed. Make sure that you are only using sites that are official U.S. government sites. There are different sites that are out there that may charge you more fees and attempt to guarantee that you will get a visa. Those can be seen as possible scams, fraudulent. Be very wary and stick to our official websites when applying. And for the fees, stick to those fees as well. They are listed. You should not pay more than that. No one can guarantee that you are going to get a visa by paying more money. There are some consultation services out there. Please be wary of that. They are not as helpful as you think they are. Be careful of any type of coaching that you may receive for fees as well. Those are not guarantees for services for visa issuances. We just want everyone to be we want you to have a successful interview. We want everyone to be vigilant, and we want to make sure that when you are preparing and applying for a visa, that you are not paying more than what you need to pay, which is the fees are listed on our website, and that you are safe in the process with processing your personal information.
Thank you, Twanda and Marissa. So our goal is to make sure this information is clear and you can understand what the process is. So feel free, please, to ask questions. We're here to answer them. So I'm going to take a question from Nick, who's asking from Facebook. My visa will expire in February 2026. Can I go ahead and apply for a renewal?
Thank you for that question, Nick. Of course, you can apply for a renewal. Your visa does not have to already be expired for you to apply for a new visa. I would make sure, definitely check on our website for going through the application process to apply. But of course, even if it's going to expire within the next several months or into the new year, you can apply early to be proactive. And that's actually good of you, Nick. Thank you for the question.
All right. Thank you, Twanda. I have Linda from X. Can you tell what are the most important documents I should carry when coming for a tourist visa interview?
And this is from
And this is from Lena from X.
Lena. Thank you for the question. The documents, everything that you would need to be prepared for your interview are outlined on our official website. So I would say go to our official website, jm.usembassy.gov. It will take you to the link for visas, for non-immigrant visas, and it will give you the information on what you need to have to be prepared for your interview.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So for B1, B2 visas, what we always say, it's not really a documentarily, the documents that are really required.
Yes.
Because the officers review what you put on the application form. If the officers need to see documents, then they will ask you during the interview. But there's really no required document to bring.
Yes. Thank you, Marissa.
Okay, thank you, Marissa and Twanda. I have a question from Mark. His question is, my visa was refused in the past. What should I do differently this time when I reapply?
Mark, thank you for the question. Unfortunately, that is a question that deals with a specific, with your specific case. In that instance, we're unable to answer questions that are specific to cases. So, unfortunately, I will be unable to give you that answer. But if you do have any questions pertaining to your case, again, you can go to JM, I get it confused, my apologies, jm.usembassy.gov, and there is a link on the site that can direct you for any specific questions related to your case that you may have.
So just to add to that, so jm.usembassy.gov, you scroll down, so homepage, scroll down to US visas, then click on US visas, and that will bring you to, there's a portion there that says Visa Navigator. And you can click on that, and that's where you can submit your questions.
Okay. Thank you, Twanda and Marissa. So I have a question. So what should an applicant do if they've lost their passport book or it was stolen? What's the process? What should they do?
Okay, so so first of all, get a police report, and then you send the police report to kingstonfpu.state.gov. And then if you want to reapply for visa, then you reapply for the visa, go to our website, the instructions are there.
Okay, thank you, Marissa. All right, I'll take another question. I see one here. Do I need to take my children for our upcoming B1, B2 interview, or can I attend the interview for them?
And that's from?
And that's from Winsome, sorry.
Winsome, thank you for that question. For children under age 14, well, for all children, but definitely for under the age of 14, they will be required to come in for the interview. So if you are applying for visas for your children and they are not present at the time of the interview, we may have to have you reschedule your interview for a later date. So to make it so that it's more convenient and it doesn't take more of your time, please make sure if you're applying with your children that they are present with you at the time and date of your interview. Yes. It is required.
Yeah, to clarify, it's required for all children of all ages.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So if, for example, I'm traveling and I discover that someone is misusing their visa, what are the steps I should take to report that? Should I even report it? I don't want to lose my own visa. So what should I do?
Well, the kingstonfpu.state.gov email address is always a good idea. You can send your report there. And the people behind, the people in our FUPU section are very, very efficient. And they will read your email and, investigate and check.
Okay. And I would like to add, if you so happen to make a report to Kingston FPU, your report will remain anonymous.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, ladies. So Jevi from Instagram, I got a 1-entry visa. Can I go ahead and apply for my B1, B2 to get the 10 years?
Jevi, thank you for that question. Of course, the visa that you're issued, if it's for a single entry, then of course, please be compliant with that travel with that visa. If you find that you would need to, you feel like you have needs to enter to visit the U.S. again at a later date, you will need to reapply for a visa, and you will need to. Um, of course, by our policy and guidelines, I would say make sure that you are, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied, that you qualify for that
Yes.
visa. And if you are found to be qualified for a 10-year visa, then you will be issued a 10-year visa. But I would definitely say make sure with the visa, the single entry visa that you are issued, you are traveling compliantly based off of the information that was given to the consular officer for why you were issued that visa in the first place.
Thank you, Twanda. Okay, let's take one more question. Demi from Facebook, there is an error on my DS60. How do I change this error?
So it would depend. If your appointment is already like, because there's a cutoff for DS160, editing the DS160, and there's also criteria. You can change your name. I don't think you can change your date of birth. So there's criteria for that. If you can't change it, then you would have to contact our call center and just request them and have ask them for instructions on how to edit your DS160.
Thank you.
And I'll give the number. Sorry.
please.
It's 1-876-656-8535 or 1-876-630-2040. Those are the call center numbers. They are open Monday through Friday between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m., except Jamaican or American holidays.
Okay, thank you. So if an applicant has traveled to the US and they need to extend their stay, what's the process?
So if an applicant needs to extend their stay while they're in the U.S., first I would like to say when you enter the U.S., you are given by CBP, you are given an AUD date, which is the date that you are able to stay into the U.S. Stay inside of the U.S. So the date that you would need to leave the U.S. by. So if you feel that you would need to extend your stay, you need to go through the proper channels to do that lawfully so that you won't have any type of penalties or put your ability to apply for a visa again in the future at risk. So the form that you would need to fill out would be the I-539 form, which is an application to extend or change non-immigrant status. So you would need to complete that form. There are fees involved. All the information would be listed with immigration, but you would need to complete that form before your date to leave the U.S. expires. If you do this form after that date, you may be seen as not in compliance, and that could put you at risk for future visas and travel to the United States.
And that form can be found at the USCIS website. That is United States Citizen and Immigration Services, USCIS.
Okay, thank you, ladies. I'll take another question. This is from Christine. My husband applied for a tourist visa and was asked to get a medical done at Andrews. Why is a medical required for a visiting visa?
Twanda can take that.
Well, Christine, thank you for that question. That is a question that's very specific to your husband's case, and unfortunately, we are unable to answer that question. But again, I would like to direct you to our website, jm.usembassy.gov, which it will have the navigator, which will help direct you to where you can submit your question about this case.
All right, thank you, ladies. All right, so let's take another question. This is Trenka from Facebook. I applied for my daughter. She is 6 and never got the visa. How long should I wait to reapply?
Twanda?
Well, Trenka, I'm going to assume that your your daughter, you apply for a visa for your daughter and she wasn't issued. I'm not sure if that is your question, but whenever you apply for a visa and you may not get the decision or answer that you want, you are always free to reapply. There is no time on that. There's no time limit that needs to pass before you apply for a new visa. Apply for a visa again, excuse me. However, you need to make sure that your circumstances are different than the last time that you applied for a visa. I would say that is important, but there is no time limit for when you can apply for another visa. You're always free to reapply at any given time.
Okay, thank you, Twanda. International travel is more accessible now more than ever, with millions crossing aboard the borders each year. The consular section here at U.S. Embassy in Kingston is here to facilitate legitimate travel for visitors, whether you're going on holiday or business. We're here for you. What I can say is by following these tips that we just told you and the answers that we gave for your questions, you'll have a successful travel and you will enjoy your trip. So thank you for being with us here today. We hope that you will join us on our next Consular section live. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.